Welcome to class 3 of Posting for Profit. You'll notice that in today's class, unfortunately, there were some technical difficulties and you're not able to see my face, but you'll still get to see all the screen shares and everything else. So there will be a class 4 that is coming up. I will be sending you the date for that. Bring your questions, bring your wins, and the workbook and everything else will be sent to you this week. So I look forward to hearing from you, to hearing about all of your wins. Feel free to tag me in your posts. And I look forward to our final session together. Hope you are really enjoying the class and setting lots and lots of appointments. So welcome to class 3. Here's the good news. There's going to be a class 4 because I'm going to do a Q&A. I'm going to pull all this stuff together. I'm going to be sending you a workbook. You're also going to get access to the portal. Have any of you been into the portal yet? Have you seen it? Okay.
No.
Nobody else? Okay, so there's a portal. The portal will have not only all the recordings, the portal will also have all of the bonuses, the first workbook from the first class, plus I'm going to give you this brand new workbook that I've put together, which has above and beyond everything that you could have possibly imagined. Okay. So, quick question. And again, I really apologize that you guys can't see me. It's just so strange that this is happening. But for whatever reason, it says it's being used by something else. So I'm going to try one more thing here and just see if I go over here, click this, preview on. I don't want preview on. Yeah, it's weird. Okay. Well, I guess you are going to get to see me. It was a good hair day. Sorry, you're going to miss me. All right. So let's jump in. First, I want to hear what are some of the wins that you've been having and what are some of the challenges? Because I have a whole lot I want to teach today. Anybody want to jump in?
I've had some posts perform really well. I appreciate the insight you shared with me on what to do at that event that I went to, and that I think that post went pretty well. So I really appreciate
Great.
it. Yeah, it's like I think 70 reactions and a bunch of comments, 22 comments.
70 reactions is
That's good for me. I
awesome.
mean, I'm not Rhonda,
No,
but
70 is good for anybody. And here's
yeah.
the thing that you want to do. So I'm going to start out by showing first. Let me just share my screen. Okay, so you guys can all see my screen, right? Let me just, okay, so let me close this and let me close this. Let me go over to LinkedIn. Okay, so if I go over to LinkedIn and I show you, let me grab the sound right here. Okay, so I want to show you a post that, again, we never know what's going to happen when we are posting. Okay, Christy, welcome. You'll notice that I'm not on camera, not because it's a bad hair day, because for some reason my camera's acting up. So no worries. I will be sending you out a video, but I want to show you this particular video when it was from Facebook. And it literally, I want you to see how viral it went. I'm at 51,821 views, but I don't care about the views. What I care about are the 81 people that reposted it, the 1,450 people that liked it. Okay. Now, if you break this down, why is this so appealing? Because it has universal appeal, right? It's a little boy, a little girl. You can see the little girl probably has cerebral palsy, and he's helping her to win at this basketball game. So any of you could turn this video into something for you, but the title here is We Rise by Lifting Others. So notice when you do the breakdown, want more influence, shine the spotlight on somebody else, right? Like all of a sudden you get it. Notice when I put this into ChatGPT, it gave me those ridiculous green boxes. So I changed it and I used an emoji that doesn't really make it so it looks like it's so much like AI. Okay. And then you could see I actually tagged Christy and Pam who are in the group, right? So you see all of that. Now, How do you turn all of this into appointments? Very simply by going through, and I'll give you a perfect example. So here's Mike Harris. He was not a first degree connection when he liked this post. Okay. So what I did with Mike is I looked at his profile, I sent him a connection request that basically said, um, right here. I sent him a connection request and I said, thank you so much for viewing my profile and also for liking my post, right? So here, this was the video that I sent him using Dub. So you can see, just so you can see that what I'm teaching you to do, I am doing. So it came up, you can see I did it this morning. I'm same outfit. Hey, camera was working. It's Rhonda Sure. I just wanted to say thank you so much for viewing my profile and sending me a connection request. I'm all about positive movement for sure. And don't know how you found me, but I'm sure glad that you did. Um, Love to set up a one-on-one. What I like to do is get to know my connections to see how we can support each other with resources, referrals, and you never know where a conversation can go. I promise it's a no sales zone call, so I'm not going to sell you anything, but I would love to know more about you and how potentially we can support each other. So I'll drop a link to my calendar. And again, thanks for reaching out. Okay, so you could see, hey, Mike, very positive tone, right? Do you like the post? When I went over to my LinkedIn, just so you guys can see, okay. And I did this, actually, let me go to Evie because this is important. So in Evie, when I went to the Learning Hub and I went to Quick Links, what I looked at was who has viewed my profile, because that's what I was looking at, right? So I went over and it said in here, so let's see. Anniversaries, education, job changes. I mean, look at all of the things that you can see within Evie, right? So sometimes I do it through here and sometimes I do it through the Sales Navigator, okay? Recent connections, recent followers, who viewed your profile. So I clicked over here. First thing I do almost every morning, looks like it went up by 12%. Oh, Christy just peeked at me. Look at that. And as I went through, here is Mike. So when I saw that he looked at my profile, I saw how many connections he has. What I did is I sent him that. Now take a look at what happened, right? So he wrote, happy Tuesday. I'll watch your video again. Couldn't concentrate on it like I wanted to. I appreciate you. I see you have a creative spark. I'll definitely check my schedule concerning a one-on-one. Sounds awesome. I do get a lot of requests on here for Zoom calls, WhatsApp calls, and one-on-ones. I do my best to answer all requests. I'll let you know as soon as a date and time work for me. Most times I take calls in my car while driving because of my busy schedule. But again, what my whole point to this is, look at how easy it was to get this guy's attention. He looked at my profile and he liked my post. Okay. Why did I choose him? Well, I chose him for a couple of reasons. Number one, I like the fact that he does a positive movement group, right? I like the fact that he has 12,000 plus followers. So I looked at it and I read his profile. He's the author of a whole bunch of books. You can see the guy is doing a lot, but also notice 12,000 posts. And this is for all of you. I want you to look, when you're looking at a profile, you're really looking at the profile to say, is this somebody that is a potential prospect or referral partner for me? Okay. It's not just to be scanning profiles. So what am I noticing? I'm noticing that this guy is not posting, he's reposting and he's commenting, which means he's leaving a ton of money on the table because he's not posting. Does that make sense for everybody? So then I scroll down and guess what else when I look in here, he's putting posts, okay, which are his posts, okay, where, he's got some numbers, but in the reality of it, he doesn't have an interview, he doesn't have any case studies, he doesn't have a testimonial. So this amazing piece of real estate here, he's wasting. Does that make sense? So we go down and we look at recommendations, and this guy has only received one and he's given none. Okay. So and he's got publications, but the whole point is that because he liked my post, I now have an opportunity to share with him how much money he's leaving on the table, show him a couple things. And at the end of the day, what do you think potentially could happen? He could say, hey, I'd like to know how to do that. How could I leverage this network of mine to generate more appointments? What would you be doing for the same thing? But here's another cool thing that I want all of you to see, and you're also going to get the handout on this. You could go over here to more, and I want you to do this for yourself, and I could save this profile to a PDF. So if I save it to a PDF, have any of you ever done that? Saved a profile to a PDF? Okay. So you save the profile to a PDF. I'll put it in Dropbox. And what I'll do is I'll just put PDF and let's hang on for 1 second. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll go over here. I will go to save to PDF and I will put PDF Mike Harris, right? So PDF Mike Harris profile. Now, what have I done by doing that? What I've done by doing that is I've created another way to stay in touch with them and say, hey, Mike, didn't know if you knew you could put your profile into a PDF. It was so impressive that I did that and I've attached it here for you. Again, what am I saying? Give, 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 because the more you give, the more you get. Does that make sense? Right? Okay. Let me show you a couple of other things that we haven't covered yet, which are super cool. So now let's go to Instagram. Okay. How many of you ever use Instagram to find cool quotes and things that you could post? Ever done that? Okay. Oops. Why does that do that? So I'll just go Instagram. Instagram. Okay. So here's Instagram. Now, what I want to do within Instagram is I want to go to search. So I'm going to search and I'm going to search for my favorite topic, kindness. Okay. So when I search for kindness, I put that in here. I go search kindness. It's going to ask me, am I looking for kindness quotes, for example? So let's look at that. Okay, so look at all these really cool quotes on kindness. All right. Somebody unmute, just, I'll make the screen bigger. Okay. Who wants to unmute? Carolyn, you're unmuted.
Yeah.
Look at these and pick one that kind of jumps out at you.
Yeah, no matter what happens in life, keep a good
Perfect.
heart. Yeah, that's a good one.
I love
They're
that.
all cute. I
Okay.
like the ones with the cute image. I can't read all of them,
So the
but
second one says, I think you deserve something nice today for being an amazing person. So this is for you. Okay. So if I take this, I just use my little snippet tool. Okay. And I clip it. Okay. You can see I just clipped it. There it is. I'm going to save it and I'm going to save it as a kindness quote Insta. Okay. And I'm going to put it in pictures. All right. Now that post. So now that you've picked that one, Carolyn, right? Let's actually look at this for a second. How could we take this post for you, right, and put it into a post using AI that will attract the right people, right? So it says, I think you deserve something nice today for being an amazing person. So this is you. So let's go over to Chat GPT. Okay, right here, my favorite. Okay, now I think I may have told you about Jasmine Ali. Did I tell you about Jasmine Ali? Right. Okay.
oh,
So,
you'll write in the style of.
yeah, in the voice of Jasmine Ali. Okay. Write a viral LinkedIn post. So, Carolyn, let's make this about you. But what I want to do is I want to actually add that picture so that um, the so that it knows, right, what I'm talking about. So where did I put Insta? Did I put in pictures? Did I just put
Ooh,
it?
I don't remember how you saved it.
Let's see. Did
I
I
would
put it?
think pictures, but
Well, let's just go back because I actually want to I thought that's where it was because I need to be able to find it anyway. Okay, a viral post about doing an act of kindness. Okay, so this is yours, Carolyn. So let's make this about you.
Okay. In
So,
an accounting department or as a CFO or while you're hiring
okay,
to help a job seeker to help.
as a CFO, when you are hiring or for someone who is applying for a job and you want to stand out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me 3 strong hooks and a call to action for this post, as well as 3 catchy titles. Make it relative uh, to someone who is, you're in the accounting industry, correct, Carolyn? Or you're in the
Yeah.
recruiting industry,
Recruiting for accounting and finance.
who is in the recruiting industry for accounting and finance. Okay. So what are we doing here? We're taking an Instagram photo, not a quote necessarily, not a video, not a video of you, just showing you another way, not a Facebook reel, right? And just going to put this out here. So let's see what we get. Okay. So it's actually giving me the 3 hooks.
Um,
Imagine this: a candidate walks out of your interview feeling like a human, not a resume. Wow, that's pretty catchy. Would you agree?
yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Behind every resume is a story behind the story. Okay, so most hiring processes transactional, cold, forgettable, but the best leaders know the secret. It's not just about the numbers on the balance sheet, it's about the people behind them. I once saw a CFO do something so simple yet so rare. After interviewing a candidate they couldn't hire, they sent a personal note highlighting what impressed them most, not a template, not HR jargon, just here's what stood out about you. Could you imagine the impact,
Yeah.
right, that this could have? So just for fun, let's go back because I don't know where I put it. So I'll do it again so you can all see. Okay. Oops, I didn't want to do that. Hang on here for a second. Let me close this. So I go over to my little snippet. Okay. And there it is. Okay, so now I'm going to know where I saved it because today just doesn't seem to be my technical day. I don't know. Okay. And we
Oh,
all
you
have
put it in
those
Dropbox.
days.
Okay.
What?
It's like, oh,
It's in
you put it in
Dropbox, right?
Dropbox.
Instagram, kindness, pick. Okay.
Ghost.
And
Yeah.
notice it's a PNG. Okay. So now I'm going to save. Okay. So now let's pull this all together. Okay. I'll do it on mine, but I'm not going to really post this. I'm going to leave this for you, Carolyn, to do this, and I'm going to send it to you. Okay.
Thank you,
But
Rhonda.
I want you to see how easy this is. Okay. Have any of you ever used Instagram to find cool stuff? You'll never run out of. So here, I go over here, create a post, right? First thing, add media. So I go right here. Here it is. I put it in. There's the post. Go to next. Okay. Now I'm going to go back up to this. Okay. We already said this was the hook. So let's put the hook in, right? So we'll go back to the post, start it here. Imagine this. Okay. So I'm going to put this. A candidate walks out of your interview feeling like a human, not a resume. Okay. Now, what I do is I take what's in ChatGPT, okay, and I put it in Word. And the reason that I put it in Word is number one, I want to save it. But number two, I also want to take out some of the stuff that, like we're not going to put in call to action, right? I mean, that's not, but just to save time, I'll show you, you could do it the other way as well. So I'll go over here, oops, and right here, I'm going to put it in. So I'll paste. Okay. So now I'm going to say, I once saw a CFO do something. So I'm going to take this and get rid of it. Okay. Put a space. After interviewing a candidate And I would say interviewing an accounting candidate, because that's who you do it, right? For you, Carolyn. So we
Yeah.
want to personalize it. Okay. They couldn't hire, they sent a personal note, not a template, not HR jargon. All right, let's keep going down. Just here's what stood out about you. Okay. Now, in parentheses, I would say I was floored. Why? Because it doesn't sound like AI for AI to say I was floored,
Yeah.
right? The result, that candidate became a lifelong advocate, recommending the company to peers, speaking highly of leadership, and later coming back later as a client. And then again, I'm going to say, imagine that. Okay. Because again, what am I doing? I'm just making it so it doesn't look so AI, right? That's because of ripple effect of kindness in finance, of finance and recruiting. Because let's be honest, in an industry built on trust, precision, and relationships, what are we going to do? Take out this ridiculous little thing that screams, I'm done with AI. How you
Mhm.
treat people in the no matters just as much how you treat people in the yes. So next time you're okay, hiring, send a note, give feedback, offer an introduction. It costs you minutes, it earns you. So here, what I would say, take out this, and I would say, I now recommend to my clients in the accounting, we're personalizing this, right? And finance industry that they do just this. It takes so little time and yet reaps so many rewards. Okay. Credit for photo to original source. We don't know where it came from, but we don't want to steal it, right? Okay. So I'm not going to post this, obviously, okay, because it's not mine and whatever. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take all of this and I am going to send this to everybody, including Carolyn, because what I really want is I want you to be able to follow the exact steps, right, that I just did. So let me get your feedback. What did you guys think when you saw how easy it was to go to Instagram, find a post, put the picture in in LinkedIn, and then personalize it, just a tweak. We didn't even take 5 minutes, did we? So what do you think is going to happen, Carolyn, when you post that? And who are you going to tag in that post? That's one of the important questions that we want to ask, right? Maybe it's some of your potential clients. Maybe it's people you've worked with in the past. Maybe it's somebody you want to work with.
Oh, okay. I
Okay.
thought you recommended tagging people that will respond. Like it's negative to tag people who are not going to
Correct.
like it.
Correct. Yeah, but here's the thing that what I want you to see, Arlene, I'm going to get to you in 2 secs. Here's the thing that I want you to see in terms of the ripple effect. This is really important, okay? Because you have tagged them, because they are liking it or they are commenting on it, that gives you permission, okay, to, if they haven't connected with you, to connect with them, right? It gives you permission, if they have connected with you, to now send them an audio or a video message that says, thank you so much for the like on my post or whatever, and an invitation to jump on a call. Remember, the whole goal of this entire training is, yes, to give you the skills on what to do, but at the end of the day, what is it really? To get you a minimum of 2 to 10 to 20 appointments a week. Does that make sense?
Thank you.
So, Carolyn, this post alone, just going to Instagram, right? How
Mhm.
easy is that for all of you to be able to go and do that? And again, look what the doors that it opens. Make sense? Arlene,
Yeah.
question.
Yeah, so I'm with your videos and posts using this example, do you use the same video or image posts throughout different platforms like I do a lot on LinkedIn and a little bit on Facebook. If I post one video post on LinkedIn the same day, can I do, or do I scatter them, or do
That's a
you
great
scatter
question.
them?
I don't post anywhere else. So I stick to my one platform of
Mhm.
LinkedIn. What I have found is that typically posts that go really, really well on Facebook don't do as well on LinkedIn, and vice versa. And the reason is you have different audiences, because people that like your posts on Facebook are not people you're going to reach out to.
Mhm.
Okay. But LinkedIn kind of gives you permission. In fact, the more genuine you are, the more people are more likely to respond to you. And I keep testing and testing and testing. And what I have found is that so few people reach out sending audio messages or video messages and actually thanking people. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, it does. And I
Um,
think it just creates more work because my mind was thinking, wow, kindness is a great universal and inspiring message. And how do I use that on a Facebook? Um, because I'm part of another community of personal development coaches, and we share a lot of information there. But again, I don't want to create more work for myself because maybe I have this one professional post on LinkedIn and yet maybe use the same subject matter, but maybe different context on Facebook.
Exactly. That's exactly the way that I would do it. But in terms of generating appointments, because this is really what this is
Mm,
about, is generating
right.
appointments. Okay. I saw Christy, you put in the chat, you sent a dub message. What happened? Did you get an appointment from it?
Hilariously, I haven't checked. I just walked in from Bible study, so I haven't seen if he responded yet, but I'll
Okay.
look right now and see if he's responded.
So it's really a
He
great
hasn't
way to,
responded yet, but
yeah,
it's still
sometimes it
good.
takes, I will tell you that about 80% of the people will. Okay. Some people just won't respond. Now, let me show you a couple of other really cool things in terms of what you can do if you're, on LinkedIn. Okay. One of the things that I like to do, and again, we can use Evie or not use Evie, okay? And I gave you the handout on this. So let's pick a topic, all right? Just for fun, let's put the topic of real estate, okay? So now I put real estate, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to posts, okay? So see what I'm doing here, but now I'm going to go to all filters, okay? So first of all, I can look at the content type that I want. The content type is, do I want a video? Do I want an image? Do I want live videos? Does it, so I'm just going to say videos. Okay. So it's going to show me the results, but I'm going to go one step further. Okay. I'm going to go to all filters. So now I could say, okay, let's just look at the ones in the past month. Then I also can look at the level. So I could say, is it for my first level or people that I follow or all of the above? So even not using Evie, look what I've done. I've now said I want to see all the real estate videos, all the posts on real estate videos within the last month by either a first connection or someone that I follow. So it's going to come down here and I'm going to see. So this is a video, celebrity real estate. It's got a video with him. Here's another one. Would you rather renovate or move in early? So when you look at this, first of all, what do we notice about this particular post? He did this 2 weeks ago, right? And what does he have? No comments, no likes. He's just out there. Now, we could use Evie to find this, but what if I wanted to get this gentleman's attention, right? So I would click on his profile. Okay. What am I looking for? First, when did we connect? 2018. Oh my gosh. What are the odds that I would have ever found this guy? Slim to none. Okay. Now, what do I know about him? He's in the Silicon Valley. Okay. We share 114 mutual connections. Okay. He's got 3,700 followers. He's posting and he's getting absolute crickets on everything. So if this was somebody that I wanted to get their attention, here's what I would do. First of all, I want to look at who they are. So I'm going to kind of go down and just learn a little bit more about him. He's been doing this since 2013. Okay. Then I come down and I look at the recommendations, and a little bit dated. And I happen to know Scott because he's a first to me, right? So then I want to look at given. Now, here's something that I haven't taught you yet, but this is really important. Imagine for a moment that this is the person that you really want an appointment with, that you really want to create rapport with. What am I going to do? You're going to look at the recommendations that they have given. And I would go back probably a year or two. Why do I say that? Because prior to a year or two, most recommendations were actually written by that person. Now they're written by AI. Okay. So when AI writes a recommendation, guess what happens? It doesn't speak to your values. So when I look at what this guy is saying, okay, he's talking about her skill set to achieve at a high level, community involvement. If we look at this one, what is he talking about? Honest, straight talking. Again, enriching the lives. We've done 8 of these. What is the common denominator for this guy? He recognizes people when they are contributing to others. Can you see that just from reading what he's written? So the next time you go and write a message to somebody or do a video to them, look at what's important to them. Does that make sense? So if I wanted to send him a message, right, because I saw that he has this post, which is the one that he just did 19 hours ago, right? What would you grow if you had the space to grow your own food? How can we help you plan one of the largest investments of your life? So I want to do a comment. Could do one of 2 ways. I could use V, right? I could pick persona and generate it. Let's see what it does, just for fun, if I don't want to write it myself. What a fun question. If I had this cilantro in a dish. So now I would say, I wouldn't do the cooking, like to keep friends and family safe because I don't cook, right? But the garden, you bet. Okay. So again, does that sound AI to you? No, I'm going to insert it. Okay. Am I going to tag him? Yes, I am. Because if I hit comment, and then I'm just going to go over here and hit the edit because I forgot to tag him. So I go at, and he's right here.
And there's
Right.
no space between herbs and nothing if you are gonna add it.
Yeah, let me fix it. Thank you. Where am I? Where am I? Oh, thank you. Yeah. Between herbs and nothing. Did I do that right? Wait a minute.
Comma.
Let's okay. If I had to choose, okay, I'd love to grow my own herbs, and nothing beats fresh basil or cilantro in a dish. I wouldn't do the cooking, like to keep friends and family safe. And then I'd put here, if I wanted just to actually be a little, I leave that to my husband. But the garden, you bet. Okay. So now I've kind of made it personal, right? So if I wanted to reach out to him now, okay, what I would do is send him a message that says, hey, Armin, loved your post today about growing your own garden. We've been connected since 2019. Would it make sense for us to jump on a call? I see we have almost 114 mutual connections. By the way, curious about what you do for youth leadership. Why would I say that? Because everything about this guy, from his headline to the profile, to the recommendations he's written, is all about what? Community service, right? So again, what's the goal here? The goal here is to what? Get appointments. Makes sense? So there's lots and lots and lots of ways to go about doing it. Another way, let me show you another cool tool, okay? You can go and look at your first degree connections. So let's go over, I'll use myself as an example, okay? I'm going to go over to home. When I go to home, it's going to show me, where am I? Okay. It's going to show me my connections. Well, this is allowing, oh, my network, sorry. My network. So here's my network, okay? Here's my connection. So you can see, again, if you're not using the Sales Navigator, you just come over here to search with filters, okay? And I only want to search for my first. But what if I want to get that even further? So now I'm going to search by first level connections. And what I want to do is I want to either search by category, okay, language, and service category. So maybe I'll go coaching, mentoring, okay. And then I could also put in keywords. I could put in all of this. So now I'm going to show the results. So now I've got all of these folks here that are my first level, right? I have the ability to message them directly. So I can download all of these people. I can look at them. And what can I do? I can actually basically invite them to jump on a call, the ones that I want. Because here's the thing, most of us ignore our first level connections. And yet we've connected with them a long, long time ago. So if I were to look at, for example, Donald, don't know who Donald is, okay? But I want to go, well, when did I connect? 2020, okay. So as I look at Donald, I can see that he doesn't have a banner, that we share a lot of mutual connections, right? It's written in third person. And even though he has a whole lot of connections, he's only reposted once. And then everything else here is pretty straightforward. But notice he got a contract job in April of 2025, and he's still a partner in this with McIntyre, right? So I'm showing you this so that you can kind of look at it and what are you seeing? So as I go through, I see he has been a volunteer. He hasn't done anything recently, and his recommendations are ancient, right? So again, if you're trying to figure out who do I want to talk to, how do I figure out who they are, just do a search of your first level connections. So now if you're using Evie, you can actually go in, download them in Evie. There's lots of ways to do that. There's a million tutorials on it. But again, just by seeing who those people are and saying I could reconnect, and maybe having a specific call to action. So what I like to say is, hey, Donald, your profile popped up. It did pop up. I was looking through my first level connections, right? We've been connected since 2020. I work with lots of people that are leadership experts in the nonprofit and private space. Would it make sense to spend a few minutes to get reacquainted to see how we could support each other? What do you think the odds are that this guy is going to say yes to a phone call, right? So what my whole point to all of this is what would it take for all of you to get those 2 appointments a day with your ideal clients, right? You could do it through commenting on other people's posts. You can do it through posting yourself. And by the way, the more you post, because the studies have been showing, the more you post, guess what happens? The more you get noticed, the more people start to, it's almost like a ripple effect, right? And you can also comment on other people's posts, right? So if somebody posted a comment, you can then comment on their comment. It starts to actually get the thread going. Does that make sense? So Peter, I know you did that really. I see you're still in your sling for your shoulder, right? Unmute for a second and let's talk about how that post went for you, where you posted the picture of you in your sling.
Yeah, it got like I heard you mention earlier, likes. It got like over 70 likes, but no comments.
Okay.
So
So let's look at,
actually no, I think there was maybe one comment, one or two
I
comments.
was
okay.
gonna say, I think I commented on
Yeah,
it.
you did. Yeah, you did.
Okay.
I was thinking of a
So
different post. But yeah, I think
so
it did okay.
so again, great, you got a really great banner. Let's take a look. And you're
We got
getting some
5 comments.
5? Oh, on that one? I was thinking the other one. I was thinking this curiosity one. I got a lot of likes on that, but no comment.
look at this with the animals. This is super cute, right? Like, look how cute this is. And you want to stick to 3 hashtags, by the way. Okay.
Okay.
When you go over 3, it kind of defeats the purpose. But then let's go. And again, some of them are going to hit and some of them aren't. But this is a great picture. Okay. And you got 5 comments, you
5
got 1
comments. Yeah.
repost. So who did the repost? Let's take, oh, that was me. Okay. So if you didn't know me, okay,
Okay.
you could actually send me a really nice message thanking me for reposting, right? But you
Yep.
did get 14 people. So if you were to look at these 14 people, are any of these people that you potentially might want to have a conversation with?
Well, I did talk to Phil the other day, so that was a good one.
Okay, so how did that come about? Did you send him a message? Did you reach out? What'd you do?
He actually did a post a couple weeks ago where he said, I haven't actually been on LinkedIn for a while, but I'm missing connecting with people. So reach out to me if you want to chat. So I did.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Here it is, right? So you can
Yeah.
see he's all of a sudden he's getting I don't really use, yes, it's kind of nice to no longer be advance my career, although I'm still working, but I thought I'd post an offer to reconnect. No ulterior motives. I'm not, this is actually very genuine. What he's missing here, though, what is a hook, right?
Yeah.
Have you reconnected? Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
But the other thing, okay, so let's just break this down for a second. What didn't he do when he got comments?
Respond.
Comment back.
Yeah. He's saying, hey, I want to reconnect with all of you. And then all it would have taken was love to chat sometime. I'll DM you my calendar link. Look at the opportunities that he's missing. Nice to hear from you. I see you've been in construction management. So there's huge opportunity in all of this, right? So since you already know him, Peter, what I would do is go in, click the like on the people that have actually commented, right? Add your own comment and say something like, it was great talking to you. Reconnecting is amazing, right? How can we keep this going? Or something like that. Does that make sense?
It totally makes sense. Yeah.
And for all of you, what you want to be looking at, right, is so if you look here, remember, these are people that know him. So there may be people here that potentially could be people that you want to talk to. So if, for example, you don't know Nick, okay, you could look at Nick's profile and reach out to Nick simply because this one person that hadn't been posting in forever did a post and Nick liked it.
Yeah.
And Nick is going to remember. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
So it gives you the opportunity. And when I look at Nick, I don't even know if Nick is looking for a job or Nick, it looks the way his profile is written, it looks like it is, right? But he posted something a day ago, right? And then he's actually had the same job since 2005. But the reality of it is that, and he's still doing business coaching. But when you look at his profile, it looks like he's looking for a job, doesn't it? So again, what I'm showing you here are ways to kind of follow the breadcrumbs. Make sense?
Yeah, I think what the big, thing I learned, I'll put this in my video testimonial, is that there are, opportunities everywhere.
Yep.
That's the big takeaway for me.
And you need to tap into those,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that's like one of the biggest things. So, is everybody clear on how to use video and audio to send messages? Is everybody good on that? Because if you're not, I did send you the recording, not the recording, the PDF of how to do all of that. So I sent you, I think, 5 PDFs. The other thing that I'm also going to send you are the lists of all the cool people to follow. So, does anybody want kind of a repeat just to look at how we do that again in terms of using the video downloader? Because that's like one of the key things here. I know last week we spent a whole lot of time on Facebook and using the Facebook Reels, but when we're looking at video reels, right? So let's look at, for example, oh, this guy's great. I love this guy, Mike Rubin. Okay, so let's look at Mike. This guy is amazing. He's an MD, a PhD, an MBA, a CFA, and a bunch of other stuff. I mean, really, this guy is absolutely freaking brilliant. So we come down and let's look at videos from Mike. Why? Because look at the number of followers that he has. So when you scroll down and you start looking at the videos, what you want to do is go to some of the older ones, okay, and look at the numbers that he's getting, right? So let's just play and find one. Is this a good reminder for you guys on how to do this? Because this is one of the things that will get you the most bang for your buck. Okay. Okay. So let's just take a look at this one just for fun. Okay. So it says, you saved me. Now here's my entire contact list. Let's watch this.
Two at a time.
It's a really cool video, isn't it? It pulls you in. Now, how could you take this? Now, notice what he did. He put in the end analysis, we defined ourselves by what we value, and what greater thing to value than the miracle of life. This includes our own, our peers, the animal world around us. We're so lucky simply to be here. And when we have the opportunity to honor life in all forms, let's capitalize on the privilege. Okay, so who wants to play with this? Let's actually make this a post. Arlene, you want to do this for you? Want to play with this? You want to unmute?
Sure. So what would you like me to do?
Okay, so I'm going to save the video for a step. Okay, I'm going to go copy link to post. I'm going to go to Evie and I'm going to go to the video downloader. So I want you to just get this down. You really need to know how to do this. So I'm going to basically put this here. I'm just downloading the post or the video. All right, you can see it. So I'm going to go in here. And for me, I put it in videos. So what I'll put is video Mike, because I'd like to know who it's from, make a difference, because that's really what it's about. It's just doing that one little thing that makes a difference, because easily this person could have just let this bird, right, as you're watching it.
Oh my God. Where's it going now?
Could have walked away. Would you agree? And
Mm-hmm.
nothing would have ever happened. So one of the things that you can do is you can go over to the post. Where did I go? I got too many windows here. Oops. Okay. Where was my post? Oh, I'll go back. It doesn't matter. It was from Mike, right? So Mike Rubin. Okay. And I'm going to give you this entire list, by the way, all my favorites. So you'll get all of that. So I go back to the post, but what I want to look at is I want to go, okay, what did he say? how could I make this relative to what Arlene does, right? Because that's really what we're looking at. Remember, we went down and we looked at some of the older posts, right? We weren't looking at the current one. And the reason for that is that, if he's got an awful lot of followers, right? So you want to make sure that what you're doing is not necessarily using the most current ones. Okay. Let's see. I think this was it. Yep, this was it. So let's look and see. So now you could take what he says, right? And I would put it into ChatGPT or any place else, right? Go into here and I would say, in the voice of Jasmine Ali, okay, write a viral LinkedIn post. Okay, so Arlene, how could we make this relative to what you do? Because remember, it's really just going the extra mile, right? It's really just doing something that makes a difference, right? I could say, rewrite this post from the view of, and I'll put your name in, okay, because I want it to know who you are. If I spell your name right, Torgens,
Geren.
sorry,
That's okay.
Torgensen, right?
Torgersen.
Okay. And tell me your title again.
I'm founder of Antares.
But what do you do?
Oh, okay. So I do executive search and executive coaching and then technology executives.
Okay. So in the voice of Jasmine Ali, rewrite this post from the view of Arlene Torgersen, an executive search and an executive founder. Okay. Make it relative to her audience of, tell me your audience that you are wanting to see this.
C-level executives and CHROs. That's a pretty popular term.
Okay, perfect.
But
so
maybe
now
take
what am
founder because
okay.
I'm just saying
Okay.
founder of my company, but what I do
Got
is
it.
good enough.
So I'm going to say executive coaching authority. How's that?
Okay, sounds good.
Now, I'm also going to say, do not use green or blue check marks and make it seem less like AI wrote it. Give me 3 catchy hooks and a call to action, as well as 3 catchy titles for this post. Again, all of this you can put into a format so you don't have to do it. But okay, in the end, we're not defined by titles, deals, or quarterly reports. We're defined by what we choose to value. Stay away from the boardrooms and the balance sheet. What remains? The answer says everything about your leadership. When we talk about culture at the top, it comes down to this. Who do you truly honor in life and work? Okay, so I'm not really crazy about any of those. So you might just ask it to do more, right? But here it is. At the highest levels of leadership, it's tempting to believe our worth is measured by results, revenue, growth, and margins. But in the end, we define ourselves by what we value. And what greater thing to value than the miracle of life itself? Now, I really like the post. This means our own, because without health and self-respect, leadership collapses. Our peers, because culture starts. So do you see how, again, I would take out call to action, but to my fellow executives and CHROs, what do you conspicuously choose to value in your leadership today? And how do you show it in action? And then what I would do is I would tell Arlene, how you see it, right? Don't just ask the question, say, this is what I see.
Okay.
So I would personalize this a little bit more, but do you get how the process was? I went to somebody who I know has a huge following. I'm looking at what he's doing and look at his freaking numbers. This is wild. So you can look at the people that have liked Mike's post and reach out to them and say, wow, we don't know each other, but I noticed that you also liked Mike Rubin's post. Would it make sense? And again, you can look at these and see these people that potentially are lean, or for all of you, that can be potential prospects and referral partners for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Questions, anybody? Takeaways? No? Okay, let's
I
go
was
back.
gonna maybe
Yeah.
suggest a productivity tip if I could be so bold.
Please.
In ChatGPT, I noticed you're not using projects, but you can set up a project and train it to do all that stuff that you're writing every time you're creating a post. So I created a ChatGPT, and you made a comment earlier about it doesn't know your values. But the cool thing about projects is they have memory. So anything you load into them, it remembers. So I created a project called LinkedIn Post, and I uploaded my profile, my website, my book, and a bunch of stuff about me. And so it knew my voice and my values. And then I even put in there, always do every post in the voice of Jasmine Alric, and always
Yeah, no,
use these hashtags.
that's a great point. And I actually do have a custom GPT that I've done that for on myself.
Yeah.
But this course here, just so everybody knows, everybody's at a different level. Okay. And that
Yeah.
takes time to do. And Peter, I'm sure you took a lot of time to learn how to do that, right? Because you have to upload a lot of that.
Yeah.
Everybody's at different levels. Here's the thing that I want you to look at, though. When you're in Evie, and there's lots and lots and lots of trainings on Evie, okay? One of the best things that you could do is go over here, go to the posts of your first degree connections. Again, this is the quickest and fastest way that you're going to be able to do the commenting on them, okay? Because you're going to see that they're there. The second thing is, let's go back to the Learning Hub. You're going to go and look at the first degree connections in the last 24 hours, particularly the ones that don't have comments, okay? We haven't even talked about events, and I'll show you that in a minute. You can look at LinkedIn events, and people that are holding events on LinkedIn typically have people that are your ideal audience. And even though they say LinkedIn events are getting smaller and people aren't really doing them, let me show you an example. Okay, so we'll go over to right here, go back to the search bar, and let's talk about using ChatGPT just as an example. Okay, so that's my search. What I'm going to go over here now is I'm actually going to look for events. So now what do I see? Oh my goodness. There are a lot of events on using ChatGPT, right? At least a bunch of them. But here's one for tomorrow. Lead the change using ChatGPT to elevate wellness, connection, and culture. Okay, so I'm going to click on the event, and I'm going to see that this event is being done by Mark. Okay, here's the event link. Now, how many of you think that people that are interested in using ChatGPT to elevate wellness, connection, and culture might be somebody potentially that might be of interest to you that you wouldn't know? Think that there could be somebody in there? So what do I do? I'm going to click attend. All right. So now look what happens. See this 290 attendees? I can see who's attending. How cool is
Awesome.
this? Now, I can only send a message to those that are first degree connections to me, but now I know what these people are interested in. So as I look through them, for example, I could pick any of these people, right? I could pick Andre. He's a second level. You want to stay away from third. They're too far away. You're not going to have anything in common with them. Or I'm going to look for the people that have the gold button. So let's look at Brenda. And what I would do is I can see Brenda has no banner, yet she's paying for the paid version of LinkedIn. She's in corporate workplace and strategy. Okay. I look at what she's doing. She's telling me her core competencies, her accomplishments. She hasn't posted for 8 months. She's been in this job since 2022. So if I wanted to connect with her, what I would do is I would say, Brenda, notice that you also signed up for what the event was, right? And we share a common connection. By the way, I went to school in New York, former East Coaster. Would it make sense for us to connect? What do you think the odds are that Brenda is going to connect with me? Very, very high. Once she connects with me, what do I want? Well, just from my standpoint, looking at her, she needs help on her profile. She's literally in the LinkedIn Witness Protection Program. She has no banner. Her title doesn't really tell me a whole lot. And when I look at all of this, basically it looks like she's looking for a job, doesn't it? And yet she's been at her job since 2022. Pretty amazing. And her last recommendation was in 2020. And the last one she gave was 2021 and then 2013. But again, if I really want to connect with her, what am I going to do? I'm going to look at what she's saying in terms of how she's giving a recommendation of what I couldn't have completed this without her assistance here. So she's getting a lot of people that assist her. She talks about being hardworking, being consistent. So you're looking for those commonalities. Does everybody get that? Does that make sense? So, all right. So what I really want you to see here is that, yes, looking at posts is great, but there's a whole bunch of other places where you can find these amazing people to connect with that you have something, a thread in common with, right? Whether they've liked a post, whether they've been a first degree connection, whether they're attending the same event that you found because that event is relative to what you do. Does that make sense? Questions? No?
I have one quick one.
Yeah.
So that's why I deal with a lot of leaders. Sometimes if they're looking for work or they've received their golden parachute packages, mid-level management, after coaching them and requesting a recommendation, they don't want to let their employers look at their profiles or see that they're either looking, or what would you recommend in that type of scenario? If they're afraid to leave a connection, I mean, a recommendation.
That's a great question, actually. If they're afraid to leave a recommendation, and you want that person to have recommendations, in other words, but you don't want it from somebody that could potentially be stolen or whatever, is what you're saying. Is that right?
Right, or that they're looking for a job discreetly and don't want their coworkers or their employers to hint or get a hint that they're looking.
So that's a great question, Arlene. And here's the answer. Okay. Recommendations just speak to your qualifications and what you've done. So it doesn't necessarily scream, and Pam, you could probably speak to this because you're an expert in resumes, right? But it doesn't necessarily scream, I'm looking for a job. Okay. It just says there is third-party validation. Okay. So I wouldn't really be all that concerned about that, Arlene. What I would really focus on is building up those recommendations, right? Asking for them, because it really is third party. It shows up in a way that says this person is really good at what they do. It doesn't necessarily say, I'm looking for a job. And from the company standpoint, it basically says, look, our employees, because you're an employee, right, have people that think they're great. So it reflects really well on the employer. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's a good perspective. Yes.
Right.
Thanks.
And sometimes what is right in front of us is what we cannot see, if that makes sense. Let me give you all another suggestion when talking about recommendations, because that's one of my very, very favorite things to do. And we didn't talk about this. So if there is somebody that you know And it may be, for example, somebody that you know has the clients that you want to get introduced to. So we're kind of like one step away. Does that make sense? Everybody get that? So Heather, for you, okay, you're in the trade show market. Unmute for a second, okay? So who might be somebody that is an ideal referral partner for you?
So my clients are generally marketing directors, or marketing managers. I wonder if Rick would be a good ideal. I never thought of exchanging. I mean, I give him everybody I know who's looking for a job. I wonder if he would be, because he does recruiting.
He does recruiting.
But I don't know if
So,
he does many marketing people.
okay. So if you guys don't know, Rick Clody is an executive recruiter. And here's the thing that's really interesting. And we'll just use him as an example because that's a really good example, Heather, okay? What you want to do for the people that you know, and if you don't know them, okay, here's a secret. This is so cool, all right? You don't know the person, but you have a conversation with them, okay? Because every day, remember, you have a conversation or two. At the end of the conversation, what you might say is, wow, Carolyn, I can't believe what I learned from you today. Thank you for being so generous in sharing your knowledge. And maybe what you share is one very simple tool. You might say, I don't know about you, but do you get tired of typing? Like, really? I found the best tool in the world called Whisper that allows me to speak instead of type. Let me show you how it works. Okay. And that person goes, oh my God, you just saved me like hours and whatever. Now, okay, what you can do is you can say to that person, because they just gave you a compliment and they just say, hey, thanks so much. That was amazing. What you can do is write that person a recommendation. Okay.
Oh.
So I could write a recommendation and it would be for Heather because we're first degree connected. We've just had a conversation. Heather might have just shared with me about this tool, right? So what am I going to do? I'm going to send Heather a recommendation. Well, that does two things. Number one, it keeps me top of mind with Heather. Number two, Heather's going to go, wow, that's amazing. Like I didn't even think about that. But how is Heather going to know that I sent her the recommendation? I'm going to send her an email and I'm going to tell her in the email that I wrote her a recommendation. So let me show you how this works, because if you want to get someone's attention, this is the way to do it. So let's bring up Heather. Okay. So here, oops, if I could type, it would really help. So here's Heather. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to recommend Heather. Okay. Now, I could put right here, Heather was worked with me in the same group. We're in a group together. She's also a client. This is her title. I could write a recommendation, right? I could have Evie write the recommendation if I wanted to. And I don't know why Evie isn't coming up in here, which is really kind of strange because usually the Evie little box comes up. But what I would do is write the recommendation for Heather. And I also could go to ChatGPT. There's a way that you can do that, and I'll send you that. So I'd write the recommendation. And then after I've written it, what I do is I go up here. You see how I've highlighted all of this? I copy this, and then I'm going to send Heather an email. Okay. And the email is actually going to say in here, I'm going to say, sent you a LinkedIn recommendation. Okay. And I'm going to put Heather's name in it right here. I would do a video, but what I would do is I would say, Heather, I got such value from our conversation today, right? Or whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. That I was compelled to write this recommendation for you. Okay. Feel free to make any changes, to let me know if any change, to let me know if you want any changes. Here's the link. So, because I don't know if Heather's going to look at her LinkedIn, right? So I put the link in right there. I highlight it. It's going to take her directly to that spot right there. Okay. And then all I'll put is, I appreciate you. Best. Okay. So I will send that out. But here's the thing. What if you sent out one recommendation every single day to somebody? It's like walking out of your car and finding a $20 bill. That person is going to think, wow, and then go one step further. If they've done a post, and I don't care if it was 3 months ago, comment on their post. Why are you doing this? Because you want to be top of mind. So when you go and you make the ask, and the ask is, I want an appointment, I want to talk to you, what are they going to say? No, probably not. You've given them the recommendation, you've commented on their post. Make sense? Okay, let me give you one other little, this is sort of an out of the box, but I will tell you that it works. Okay. And even with all the experts that I go with, I've never heard anybody else give this one. So I'm going to share this one with you. Imagine for a moment that you did get an appointment with somebody that you really want. Does everybody here have somebody that they'd love to talk to, but they've just been struggling to get that appointment? Anybody?
Sure.
Okay. So Carolyn, you have the appointment. Okay. The appointment is this Friday. Who are you talking to? I don't need a name, but just give me a title, somebody that's going to really blow up your business for you.
CFO of a large company headquartered in San Francisco. It's a big team, always hiring.
And you got the appointment either because somebody introduced you, you did it through the steps I've given you. Here's the deal. It doesn't matter how the heck you got the appointment. Okay. You got the appointment. Now, this only goes for big fish or elephants, as we like to call them. All right. Here's what I would recommend, Carolyn, and all of you. Go online and go buy a $10 Starbucks gift card. Okay. Send them a video that said, hey, Rhonda, I'm super excited about our appointment on Friday. In case you need the Zoom link, I've put it here. Remember, this is a video. Okay. And because I know how valuable your time is, let me buy you a cup of coffee. Here's a link to a Starbucks gift card. Sorry we can't do it in person. Really looking forward to our call. See you on Friday. You just ethically bribed that guy with $10 on a Starbucks gift card. Do you think there is any way on this planet that that guy is not going to show up? It works. Okay. Do you do it for everybody? Absolutely not. But if it's somebody that's big, what is the key thing here that I'm telling you? Stand out from the noise. Okay. I don't know if I ever told you this story, but when my husband and I were looking to update our trust, there's how many trust attorneys out there? Like so many. And I'm in Provisors, which is a networking group. And if you're interested in learning about it, I'm happy to share with you. And my first provisor group, I met an estate planning attorney. And I still remember that we were in person. I still remember the warm conversation we had. And I still remember her saying, I said, well, how are you different? All these estate planning attorneys, she said, oh, I don't just do your trust. I actually do legacy planning. In fact, if you have adult children, I'll even set up a call if you'd like and explain everything so they understand what's going on. She had me at hello. All right. Like all of a sudden, price was not an issue. Well, fast forward 4 years later, I'm ready to do my trust. Okay. Go back, remember her. Okay. Reach out and tell her I want to upgrade my trust. And she said, wow, I'm so thrilled that you remembered me. This is amazing. And we set an appointment. And do you know what she sent me? Me and my husband? 2 movie tickets, a virtual thing for 2 movie tickets that just said, thank you for the appointment. And I was like, wow, who does this? And so when we had the appointment, I said, I can't believe you sent us movie tickets. She said, well, I know your time is valuable. I know that you can choose from a lot of different people. I just wanted you to know that I really value the fact that you remembered me and that you took the time to actually consider working with me. Now, was she a lot more cost than some of the others? Absolutely. But did cost completely evaporate? It did. Did she deliver and over deliver on everything? You bet. So, do you think a $10 Starbucks card to support an appointment is going to make a difference for you? You betcha, right? And also, here's the thing. You want to just make sure that when you get on the call, ask them that if they got it. So let me look at some of the questions in the chat for a second. Yeah, using the no sale zone, absolutely. What else is here? And Peter, your tip was amazing. You do want to learn how to put your stuff to do your custom GPT. Yeah, somebody else had the same thing with the Zoom camera. I don't know what's going on, right? And again, to this day, you still look at that. Okay, so Heather, you talked about how you met with somebody in the past that you said to small cake, right? Like that's crazy, right? It's because here's the deal. It isn't what people don't remember what you say. People don't remember what you do. People remember how you make them feel. And in this world of AI, in this world of being noisy, that's why video works so well. One of the things that sometimes I say on video is, hey, Carolyn, this is Rhonda. No, it's not my avatar. This is really me. Okay. And I just wanted to reach out and say thanks so much for liking my post or whatever it happens to be. And then here's the other magic words. Would it make sense? Okay. Well, why wouldn't it make sense? Because you never know, right? And in your messaging, another thing that works really, really, really well is PS. Here's the coolest tool that I found or would you like to know the coolest tool that I found in AI? And it's free. Okay. Give them a reason to want to stay engaged. You don't have to do everything. Okay. Just do the things that you know that works. So every single day, start commenting. Now you're going to get my workbook, which gives you the best times. It gives you all the stuff that you want to know. You're also going to want to do your own posting. The more you post, the better. But here's the deal. If you do it 3 times a day and you follow the formula that I've given you and you start tagging, you will start to see results. You're just going to start building. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes a little while. The other thing that really works, how many of you are sending happy birthday messages? Congratulations on your work anniversary. Any of you? Peter, you are. Arlene, okay. So a few of you are. Here's the thing that's really cool. When you're using Evie, okay, Evie tells you, you do not have to go through and do all the work. So you go through here and you look, here's birthdays on LinkedIn. Part of what I've given you are some messages. So all you want to do, now this is interesting. I know Jeff really well. So instead of clicking and wishing you a happy birthday, okay, I would take one of my templates or I'd create a poem or whatever, but I would personalize it. And then my PS to Jeff would be, hey, it's been way more than a minute. Let's jump on a call. So depending upon whether you know the people, but again, it's all here and they're all getting, every one of these people are all getting this, wish you a happy birthday. You're not even going to look at it. But what if you do something different, right? And then again, your PS, but you don't have to go searching for any of this. It's all within your learning hub. Okay. The other thing that I really want to point out to you, and I don't think I've told you this before, is I want you to go in your LinkedIn, go to settings and privacy, do this every single week without fail. Go to data privacy and go to get a copy of your data right here and click this, request your archive. Do this every single week. At some point, LinkedIn is going to stop allowing this and you're going to lose all your connections. So you're going to want to get this, the list of all your connections. Does that make sense? Do it every single week. And by the way, I think you only have like a 72-hour window to get it, and then it disappears. So you want to make sure that you do that. Okay, let me open this up for questions because we've covered a ton of stuff, right? We've covered Instagram, we've covered Facebook, we've covered using the videos. What we haven't talked about are doing your own videos. And I strongly recommend that you do your own videos. And doing your own videos doesn't have to be long, just make them entertaining. Okay. Don't be afraid to share personal stuff. Let me show you something. This is really interesting. And I know this isn't Facebook. Trust me. I know this is not Facebook. However, let's look over here at Nancy. So this is somebody I know. Okay. She actually is somebody who does some LinkedIn cool stuff. You can see she's kind of got this super fun personality, right? However, here's her post. So check. Now I want you to see, normally what is she getting on her post? She's got 10,000, but she's kind of getting like single digits, not really a whole lot on her post, right? Check this out. This is an example of why I want you to be more transparent. Life has a way of teaching us, even when we'd rather not be in class. What a hook. Is that good or is that good? Right? You could even do this for you, Peter, with your sling, right? On August 24th, life handed me a lesson wrapped in an accident. After a hospital stay, I'm now in a skilled rehab. Here's what I discovered. So she's teaching you what she's learned. And she shows the most candid picture of herself in a hospital bed. Okay. Now, if this doesn't tug at you, I don't know what does, but check this out. 150 people liked this post. Now, why is this relevant to me, for example? Because she and I serve the same market, but don't compete in any way, shape, or form. So she just gave me 150 people that I can reach out to and say, oh my gosh, isn't it awful what happened to Nancy? Hope she's doing okay. Saw her post and saw that you liked the post. Then go look at the comments and notice she has responded to every single one of these. So obviously she's pretty bored rehabbing and she's doing the right stuff, right? Look at this. It's times like this when we learn. So you can actually look at the people who are commenting and fight. So why am I showing you this? Because this is not a typical post, but it's so raw, it's so real that look what it got her. A lot. Does that make sense? Okay. And the other thing that tell me if I gave you the have we met post. Did I give you the format for have we met? No?
I'd love it again. You did on the first one, but I haven't done it yet.
Okay, cool. So Carolyn, let's use you. Is that okay? Can we do
Sure.
that? Let's have some fun. Okay. So where are you?
You know what I just realized? I thought that every time somebody commented, you'd get a notification, but
You do not,
one of my
unless they've tagged you.
yeah, you don't. There's a bunch of comments I haven't responded to yet.
So now here's Carolyn's PDF, right? Here's her profile. So I'm just going to go here, Carolyn profile. Okay. I'm going to send you all of this very specifically so you'll have it. Okay. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to a sample one. I'll use mine. Okay. Just because it's easy. And I'm doing this so you can see the formula. Okay. So I'm going to go to posts. And I did it pretty recently, so you'll see it. Okay. And
Have you done the have we met multiple times?
I've done it twice.
Okay.
I did it twice. The first time I did it a long time ago. Where is it? Let's see. Okay. Well, it was pretty recently, so I want to actually share it with you. Here it is. Okay, have we met? Now, what I put here was a picture of me on stage. It was pretty deliberate. You need a picture. Okay. So now I'm just going to cut and paste this. Okay. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my good friend chat. If you need to leave, don't worry about it. You can leave and you'll get all of this. So now I'm going to add in here. We've got Carolyn, right? So where are you? Oh, here it is. Here's Carolyn's profile. I'm gonna add it, and I'm going to say, write a post called Have We Met using this formula below for Carolyn. Carolyn, tell me a couple of fun facts about you that won't be on your profile.
Well, I play the ukulele. There's some videos of that. I
What do you
have
play?
ukulele and guitar, and I like to
Okay.
write songs.
She plays ukulele. It doesn't matter if I can't spell. And
Sorry.
guitar, writes song. What else?
I have 2 kids, 2 dogs, a cat.
2 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat. You have a
I'm
husband?
probably and a husband. Yep.
Okay.
Or he has me one of those. And I'm a terrible golfer, but I'm learning.
Got it. Okay, I love it. Okay, so here it is. Okay, I want you, your homework, every one of you, is to write a Have We Met post. Check this out. And I promise you, and tag your people that know you. All right. Have we met, or have you just seen the polished LinkedIn version of me? The one that says managing director, 20 years in staffing, 5 times president club, top 1% of LinkedIn profiles. Here's the real Carolyn. I play the ukulele and guitar. Not well enough to join a band, but well enough to make my kids roll their eyes when I break into a song I just wrote. I'm a terrible golfer, and I'm learning anyway, because sometimes it's about the laugh, not the score. At home, I've got a husband, 2 kids, and a cat who all seem to think they run the show. Professionally, I've recruited over 5,000 accounting and financial professionals into roles. My greatest joy is building careers, not just filling jobs. And my secret relationships, people first, always. So I ask again, have we met? If not, let's start here with a conversation, not a pitch. What's one surprise? Now, what do you think, Carolyn? Is this kind of cool?
I love it.
Now it says, would you like me to give 3 alternative hooks? Sure, give me 3 alternative hooks. So all of you will have this, okay? Most people know me as a recruiter who's placed 500 plus accounting, but have we written? Now, I like this better. Why? Because it really sets out your qualifications before we start, okay? Beyond the resume, I like this. More than metrics, have we actually met? I'll send you all of this, okay? I will tell you, when you take this formula and you plug it in and you tag people, okay, you'll get responses. What happens when you get all these responses, Carolyn? What are you going to do?
You got to respond to them. You got to set up appointments
So let's go
and
step by
thank them.
step. So if they are not first degree connections, you're going to connect with them. You're going to say, hey, thanks so much for liking my post about Have We Met. I noticed we share, Would it make sense for us to connect? They connect. Then what do? A thank you video, an audio, or text one, right?
Mm-hmm.
And say, I like to get to know my connections. Heather, you're having too much fun. You're laughing. I like to get to know my connections. I promise it's in the no sales zone. Would it make sense to jump on a Zoom? I'd love to know some fun facts about you. Okay. Remember, this is a spinoff from Have We Met? Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then you're going to get the call. If this person is somebody that is on a scale of 1 to 5, a 5, you really want to get to know them. What are you going to do? Bribe them with a cup of coffee. Send them a Starbucks. Okay, it's called an ethical bribe. And now you've got the ball rolling. Yes?
Mhm.
And then you're going to continue to do what? Comment on their posts. If after that conversation, Carolyn, you get something really great from them, okay? What are you going to do? You're going to write them a recommendation. This is how you cement a relationship. Everybody kind of like following it. And where did it start? From the simplest of places. Have we met? Right? I mean, and most people, I will tell you, are afraid to do it because they don't want to show who they really are. Read mine. It says, I got a facelift. Okay. Like, seriously? I don't care. 69 years old, you can know that I got a facelift. It doesn't matter. Why? Because I wanted the outside to match the inside. It had nothing to do with vanity. It had nothing to do with wanting to look younger. It had to do with the fact that I'm on Zoom every single day and I couldn't stand looking at bags under my eyes and, looking old. So I changed it. And I don't care, maybe it inspired somebody. That's why I tell people I married the same guy twice. What is it that you can do? People relate to people in this world of AI, which I love to death. It's still about relationships. Okay. You're never going to date an AI avatar. You're never going to marry somebody that's in AI. What are you going to do? You're going to have relationships. Does that make sense?
Great.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is anybody in a hurry to leave, or can I just give you a quick peek? Some of you haven't seen this. I know you have, Pam, and I know you have, Heather, on the software that you can use to upgrade a photo to show you how to read someone's face, to know how to approach them. Is anybody, Carolyn, you haven't seen that, have you?
You did it on me when we met,
Oh, I did. Okay, so most
but
of
I
you have
didn't
seen.
see how you did it. I just figured you
Do
knew.
you guys
the
want to see this?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So Carol, who wants to be my volunteer? I'll take anybody. It doesn't really matter. Anybody want to Arlene, you want to volunteer? Okay, cool. So hang on one second. What I'm going to do is, hang on. Oops, I did not want to do that. Okay. This is so weird. It's not letting me do the photo thing. That's so weird. My computer today is doing really weird stuff. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to go to, it's not the screen I want you to see. So I'm telling you, this is so weird today. Okay, let's go to Arlene. This is actually probably the best way you would do it anyway. So are you, Arlene? Am I doing something wrong? Didn't you just come up?
Her name is
Arleen.
Oh, sorry. ALREE.
No,
That's why.
Yeah, Arlene.
Okay. Yes, I did. Okay. Okay, so here it is. I'm going to view the photo. Now this picture actually looks like you. It really does. Take a look at, if you look at her. So I'm going to go over here, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab her headshot. Okay, just like this. Beautiful picture. Okay, I'm going to save it. I'm going to call it Arlene, and I'm going to put it into pictures. Okay. All right. So now check this out. This is super fun. So now let's say I want to sell to Arlene. Okay. So I'm going to go over here. This is going to look different, but this is what it is. I'm just going to sign in. Okay. And I'll tell you, you want to hear a funny story? My daughter's dating somebody and she sent me his photo and I ran it through and she's like, oh my God, it's so on the money. And he actually thought it was right. So am I ready to
Wow.
start? Yes. Okay. And then she asked me to run it on her. It was hysterical. And at first she thought this was like the biggest bunch of, woo-woo stuff, right? Like she thought this is crazy. So it just takes a minute, but watch what happens. And you're going to see how valuable something like this is. Okay. So now I have to write, I agree with these terms. I paid a lawyer a lot of money to get all this stuff done. Okay. Okay, so now I agree. Now it's going to ask me why I want to use this. Do I want to understand myself? Do I have permission? And so I'm going to say it's someone else. Yes and yes. If I say I don't have permission, it's telling me I'm going to do it at my own risk because it's public, it's on LinkedIn, right? Okay, so I want to use this for sales. So I'm just going to click 3. Okay. And if any of you want to try this, I will send you a code and you can try this out and put, and do it for yourself. I'll give it to you as a gift. You can kind of play around if you haven't done it yet. Okay, so it's taken a minute. It's going to ask me to put in your picture, Arlene. Okay, so here we go. It says, thank you, you've selected. So choose a photo. Okay, so here's my photo and here's Arlene, gorgeous Arlene. I agree, proceed. And Arlene, now we're going to learn. There you are. Look at that high forehead, highly intelligent. Look at those high round eyebrows. Oh my God, you're a great team player and you're super creative. I can tell you that just from reading it. But let's see what it says. It's analyzing the photo. Okay. So the course teaches you how to do this but this is like kind of imagine you're going somewhere and you already know how to get there, but you don't want to think about it. So you turn the GPS on. It tells you how to get there with the GPS, right? So the course would teach you how to look at this and say, highly intelligent. She finishes what she starts. She sees the big picture. You're good with details. You're actually a very hard worker. People in your world feel very taken care of by you because of your cheeks, right? You're really good at handling projects. How am I doing, Arlene? Is that pretty accurate of a description of you?
Yeah, definitely. Especially workaholic.
Okay, that's your small nose, but check this out. Okay, look at this. I'll send you this if you want. So it's giving me a report. So I want you to all think about this. You all have a meeting with somebody. You even spent $10 and sent them a Starbucks gift card because you really want that appointment, right? So she has an oval shape that's adaptability, diplomacy, and a balanced approach to life. You tend to be approachable and open to new experiences. While you're doing this, you must be open and maintaining a sense of harmony in your interactions. You're typically skilled at navigating social situations and can adjust your communication style to fit the context. Is that true? Is that pretty much true of you, Arlene?
Yeah, pretty much.
So because you have a
Crazy.
high, broad forehead, you have a strong capacity for reasoning, planning, and strategic thinking. You value intellectual pursuits and you prefer to consider your options before you make decisions. Is that true?
Yeah. Sometimes I can be indecisive because once I make the right decision, it sticks.
Okay. So you have an upright forehead, so it's a logical, analytical mindset. You process information in a straightforward, rational manner and appreciate clear, direct communication. You tend to value facts and evidence over an emotional appeal. Is that true?
Can you say that?
You value
Oh,
facts and evidence over emotional
oh,
appeals. So
yeah,
you're more data driven.
yeah. I would say that fact, data driven.
So you have moderately high eyebrows. That means you have a balanced approach between being approachable and discerning. Not everybody gets into your world. You're neither overly guarded nor excessively open. So it allows for engagement with others. You're receptive to new ideas, but you like to take time to evaluate the merits of everything before you make a commitment. Is that true?
True.
You have a natural arch to your eyebrows. That's a harmonious blend of assertiveness and flexibility. You can be diplomatic and tactful, and at the same time, assert your own views without coming across as confrontational. You do well at reading social cues, and you can approach your situation, making you an effective communicator. Your eyes are just an average distance apart, so you're actually well-rounded in your thinking. You can look at all viewpoints. You're an effective problem solver, and you're a valued team member. You play well with others. True?
Yeah, true.
Yep. You have almond-shaped eyes, so that means you're perceptive. You have a little bit of intuition and emotional intelligence, and you're observant and sensitive to the moods and needs of others. True?
Yeah, very.
So here you have a nose of moderate size, means you have practical and balanced approach to ambition and self-expression. You're realistic about your goals. You're neither overly aggressive nor excessively passive. You value substance over show, and you're likely to appreciate straightforward, genuine interactions. And also it shows that you're reliable. You have rounded cheeks, warmth, sociable, and a nurturing disposition. In other words, people feel very safe around you. It actually shows that you have long-term connections and fosters loyalty. Is that true for you?
Yeah. My husband says I have too many friends.
So your lips say that you're persuasive and skilled at conveying your messages. You have a capacity for empathy and understanding, generosity, warmth, and a giving nature, open heart. You're willing to invest your time and energy in relationships. Well, obviously, if you have that many friends, I would guess that's probably true, right? You want meaningful, authentic interactions, right? So it says your teeth basically are associated with confidence and approachability. Your chin is rounded and softly contoured, so you have a gentle, accommodating nature. You tend to avoid conflict. Is that true?
Yeah, I'm very conflict avoidance unless I really have to address something.
Yeah, take a look at Trump's jaw. It says the exact opposite. In your jaw, it's smooth and not overly pronounced, which says flexibility, adaptability, and a non-confrontational approach. Okay. You're willing to find common ground, making you an effective mediator. You prioritize relationship building over rigid adherence to your own views. So then it goes through this, it gives recommendations, but here I could ask a question and I could say, what should I avoid? Oops. What should I avoid in my sales presentation to this person? And watch this. And how does she make financial decisions? Now, how valuable would it be for all of you if you knew the answer to this question? So here's the deal. If I basically said to you, Arlene, you've never seen this before, based on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being this is terrible and 5 being it really hit the nail on the head, how accurate would you say it is?
About 90%.
So imagine if you knew how to read a LinkedIn profile, imagine if you could run a picture through this and you looked at everything and you know what they have in common. What do you think the odds are that you're going to nail that appointment? Like out of the gate, pretty strong. Yeah. So it tells me I should avoid high pressure tactics, steer clear of unsupported vague claims. You value logic reasoning. Don't overlook the importance of building rapport. Jumping straight into the hard sell first without establishing the connection is going to basically not want you to hear it. It's going to make you less receptive. Making financial decisions. You like to weigh everything. You like to consider all the facts and figures and the long-term impact. You want all the information before you're going to make that commitment. So chances are before you go buy a car, you're going to do all your research. You're not going to be the person that walks on the lot and drives off with it. True? So again, you can answer all these questions, but here's the thing. How valuable is it to have this information? It's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it's different from, I mean, just from your facial features, which kind of reminded me how, you know, doing a lot of org development training is working with employees when I was in the corporate world and doing the Myers-Briggs.
Yep.
You know, because then we do the work on and answer all the questions about, you know, similar to that. So very interesting about having a face recognition that determines some of your behavioral attributes.
Yeah. Anyway, I am so sorry that I kept you guys long. I am going to be sending you the recording and I'll put my video on the front of it. I have no idea why this thing did that, but I'm going to find out. And, you know, if you got value, I would love it. I'm going to set another class so we can all share our wins, share testimonials, share recommendations. If you have any questions, please send them to me. I want to answer them for you. And literally, I'm going to just deluge you with all kinds of bonuses and workbooks and things that you can do. Keep me posted, tag me. And I would love to just, you know, hear all your wins and everything else. So have you guys found value in this?
This is awesome.
Absolutely. Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
You are so welcome. So there will be
Thanks
one
for
more
writing
class.
2 posts for me.
Yeah, I'll send
I'm
you
using those.
Yeah, I'll send you those.
Thank you.
And I will send you a date when we'll do the one more, and it's going to just be sort of questions and jumping in and a review and everything else. So it'll just be like a bonus session for everybody.
Yay.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron.
Amazing. Thank you
Have
so
an
much.
awesome week, and I will be sending you the video of this as well, and then everything will be in your portal. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Bye.
Take care,
Have
guys.
a great day, everyone.
Bye. Too.
Bye.
Bye.